you know, the so how does all this work? I think the first thing to understand, and this is honestly a big misconception that we hear a lot, is that the household and the contractor have a very simple experience. They receive their rebates upfront from the aggregator based on simple inputs and sharing historical energy usage. So the contractor and the homeowner do not have to wait to get paid out based on the rebate. They're getting everything up front, so it looks very similar to how they'd experience the program today, just simpler. So at a high level, I think the best way to think about it is I always love using a mullet analogy. I mean, think about it as kind of a mullet program design, right? It's very simple business in the front for the contractor and the household with an aggregator party in the back. So the aggregator, someone like Sealed, provides the rebates up front to the contractor and the household based on the expected energy savings. So we're doing our own kind of internal analytics to kind of Todd's point before. We use statistical models, predictive analytics to basically be able to say, hey, how much energy do we think is actually going to be saved in this home? And we give a rebate upfront to the contractor and the household based on that, right? And then under generic program participation agreements, you can think of this as like a pretty standard type of like trade ally agreement that a program would have today with contractors or others. The aggregator then provides all of the project information and energy usage information both prior to the install and after the install to the implementer, someone like CLEAResult, obviously. The implementer does what implementers do today, right? Which is review the projects, perform QA, QC, and provide rebate payments rather, among other things. The big difference is that this is not just simpler for the contractor and for the homeowner and the customer, but it also means that the implementer can do all of those kind of traditional functions through a more data-driven approach, the kind of things that Matt walked through before, right? Can basically do the same kind of functions, but just do it better because you're having a more granular understanding of how projects are performing, what's working well, what's not. So you can be more targeted with QA QC with analytics to be able to improve program outcomes even more in the future. Next slide. And then the other big difference is that the payments come to the aggregator, again, not the contractor or the household, come to the aggregator over time. So it's not a single rebate program; it's a series of partial payments over the course of about a year or so. And so I'll keep saying it. Broken record, as I mentioned. If you kind of walk through this slide, the contractors and the household receive the rebates upfront from the aggregator. And this actually usually means that contractors are getting paid faster than most programs are allowed to pay. So this is another kind of benefit that we've seen to the contractors is quicker cash flow turnover, so they can reinvest and continue to grow their business.